indisputable that human activities are causing climate change and making extreme weather events more frequent and severe. Second, it shows that climate change is affecting every region on our planet. And lastly, it explains that strong, rapid, sustained reductions in carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions would be required to limit global warming.
Certainly a grim outlook. Well, joining me now for more from Mumbai is Roxy Mathew Koll. He is a climate scientist at the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. Good to have you on the program with us. You are also a contributing author and reviewer of this IPCC report and the lead author of the earlier IPCC report on oceans and cryosphere. I'm wondering for you, what is the most alarming thing in this report?
The most alarming thing about this report, the sixth assessment report of IPCC, is that the climate has changed forever in human timescales. So the extreme weather events that we see in terms of floods and heat waves across the globe might remain so for centuries, if not a few thousand years into the future. And human-caused carbon dioxide emissions are responsible for it. And not only that, the IPCC report clearly says that our current mitigation and adaptation strategies are inefficient to stop it from changing further. So the extreme weather events that we are seeing now are going to increase in number and intensity and will be much more widespread in the future. And the global mean temperatures will cross the 1.5 degrees Celsius limit in the current decade or the next, and the 2.2 degrees Celsius by 2040, between 2040 and 2060. But this is the IPCC AR6 report in a nutshell.
Certainly, as I said, a grim outlook for the future. You say that a lot of the changes are permanent, or at least very, very long term. None of us will be here, and these changes will still be lasting. But how much of this is reversible or can be slowed, and how much is now beyond our control?
One of the reasons of why many of these changes are irreversible is that because 93%, more than 93% of the additional heat from global warming due to carbon emissions are going into the oceans. And this is warming into the ocean. And the warming process of the oceans is a very slow process. And also add to the fact that carbon dioxide will stay in the air for a long time, for centuries or more. So this is one of the reasons why many of the changes are irreversible. So one of the changes that is irreversible is ocean warming and acidification of the oceans and deoxygenation. The oxygen levels of the oceans are going down, which might affect the fisheries. So all these, when we think about oceans, we might think that this is like far away somewhere. But most of these extreme weather events source their energy and moisture from the oceans. So like where I'm in India, the number and frequency of cyclones have increased. Cyclones draw their energy from the oceans, and we see that the Indian Ocean is one among the fastest warming in the tropical oceans. So this put us in a particular juncture where there is no going back for several of the extreme weather events, like whether it's cyclones, or we see a threefold increase in extreme rainfall events across parts of South Asia, including India. And many of the heat waves, not only in tropical countries, but also in the US and Canada that we saw recently, and the wildfires in the Middle East. So these can be linked to the carbon emissions that we have emitted so far, and they are going to intensify further in the future. But there are some of the changes which might be reversible, but it is uncertain, like whether the ocean circulation is going to collapse and change the climate system.
All right. Well, certainly hopefully there is hope, and that countries can finally take action to mitigate the effects of climate change. We'll leave it there for now. Roxy Mathew Koll joining us from Mumbai. Thank you.